I've been gone so long, I'm not adapted to the heat either.
Yeah. I'm just, it's like I also have to get, it's funny here, I don't have a rack yet, so I'm backpacking.
Oh, I know, you're the backpacking,
and it's just like, it's not the way to do it.
I know, it's totally.
So I feel like I need to fix that
Yeah.
sooner rather than later.
Yeah, this is what I mean, that running water feature right here. That's so brilliant.
Yeah. It's good for climate mitigation too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
The park continues, like, probably there's like almost a kilometer more.
Okay.
And then it's underground, and then it comes up again. So it goes like all the way up to a pond.
Oh, wow, okay. Very cool.
So we can go left here.
Okay.
Here's actually water.
Oh, there's water.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm actually gonna take some, 1 second.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day when those are illegal.
Oh yeah, me too. I wish I would desperately want for like the like sound sensors that will do fines whenever that happens.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're just laughing at him.
It looks so warm too.
Yeah.
Don't envy that man.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, feeling like you have to dress up in armor because what you're doing is so incredibly dangerous that, you know, you just sweat, you know, like crazy.
Yeah.
We're not there allowed to elevate
Right,
bike lanes through intersections.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And
not.
where they have to stop.
So I think it's kind of something that they've been forced to do within the current regulations or something.
Okay.
Yeah. The newer lanes that are up near the park where I'm staying, I also questioned, you know, why the bike lane would go from an elevated down to the lower level at some of the crossings, which clearly should have been a continuous elevated crossing. And Anine was telling me that it was because of the transit agency and the buses. They don't want the buses to have to go over an elevated crosswalk. And I'm like, oh,
but the weird thing is that speed humps and elevated crosswalks also impact the old buildings.
Yeah.
So whenever, like in that lane in Sveigårdsgata, there has been like several initiatives that want speed bumps. But the thing is that those speed bumps, especially the heavy electrical buses, will make because all of the buildings mostly are from 1890s, and then they will shake so much that they will deteriorate.
Oh, whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's more.
So it's like
It's a little complicated.
Yeah.
It's more.
But I really wish like there could be some sort of. I'm dreaming of like doing like a Dutch crossing where they elevate the entire crossing
Absolutely.
and make it. This is like a pedestrian area, and the car is a guest here.
Yes.
So it's but
I could have sworn I saw one a couple days ago where the entire intersection had been raised up, and I don't think it was a situation with an elevated, protected bike lane, but I mean that might be a solution is elevate the whole thing so it's not like a speed hump.
Yeah.
It's more like an entire elevated intersection because again, the whole point is to slow the vehicles down.
Yeah.
Gosh, if your buses are going that fast that they're causing that kind of damage, let's get a tram in there. More trams on grass.
Yeah, that's pretty.
All right, here we go.
So this is the Oslo, the local prison, and they've debated whether or not to to move it out of the center. But that's also a national decision. So for a government that's very sort of focused on the right to decide for each region, they really don't care that much about Oslo. Like there have been so many instances now of the national government overriding the local authorities wishes for in transportation and location debates. And this is one of them.
Okay. That's a beautiful wall.
Yeah,
Mosaics.
great. Let's go over here. So this is going to be a big development.
Okay.
And they're tearing down some really beautiful buildings from the 50s, unfortunately. But it's already been decided, so I think they will tear it down next year.
Okay.
So when we cross here, we will come into Bjørvika, which is like the maybe most well-known development. Straight ahead and then left, sorry.
Left. Okay.
We need to go over the bridge.
Ah, perfect.
So this is really where, at the moment, the sort of fight between the medieval city of Oslo and the new development of Bjørvika is happening.
Okay.
And so there's a last slot piece of land where they are discussing what to do. But the sort of local activists in Gamlebyen claim that that is Gamlebyen and it's always been the medieval town. We have to go over here. But the municipality wants to develop it in sort of an extension of this barcode thing.
Okay. So that's ongoing, that battle.
That's it's the Battle of C6.
Yeah.
The last. Yeah. So this is road we come to down here is a typical example of the sort of difference between the national and the local authorities, because this is a road that's sort of owned and governed by the national authorities, and it's even if it's the middle of the center, it's still a 6-lane highway. And it shouldn't be.
Right, yeah. Sort of reminds us, Ella, of the difference between the Austin streets and the state of Texas streets.
Yes. I think it's really difficult to sort of find the right balance there.
Yeah.
But the road authorities here, their interest has always been to optimize traffic flow for cars.
Yeah.
And then everything else will sort of be... Let's go into the park here.
Okay.
So I live in that greenhouse there.
Oh, cool.
They've just done like a big rail tunnel here.
Okay.
And the park is being doubled in size. So they're opening this fall. So this is where the coastline was in medieval times.
Okay.
So it's not, you're not able to swim here because it's not circulated.
Oh, okay.
But you can ice skate here in the winter.
Ah, okay. Are you an ice skater, Ella?
I have ice skated. I wouldn't say I'm an ice skater. Especially living in Austin, I didn't get to practice much. But
this here it like freezes in the winter, so you can skate. It's really nice.
whenever you're trying to film, that's when you really notice the sirens.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like cities really aren't noisy. It's cars that make cities noisy.
Oh yeah.
Did you grow up in Oslo?
No, I grew up like 30 minutes east of the city, in the countryside. But I've been living here since I was 19.
Oh, wow. Did you say you came for school? No, just for...
No, I was a handball player.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I did play in a couple of clubs around the country and in Denmark. And then when I moved home from Copenhagen, I came
to Oslo.
here.
Yeah.
And I've been ever since.
That's cool. You've probably seen it, yeah, like changing, you know?
Yeah, a lot.
These are quite the ruins.
Yeah, this is from an old cathedral.
Ah, okay. So is this part of the property you were talking about that is potentially going to be developed?
This is already a park, and it will
Okay.
never be anything
Okay.
else. And everything here is medieval ruins, so they're
Okay.
not touching it. And it's also, the park is actually almost doubled in size
Ah, okay.
because of the big train development and tunnel building.
Right.
All of this space, like behind that old workshop and way over there, will be reopened as a park, and it
Yeah.
hasn't been for forever, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's a
It's a big,
gorgeous building too. I mean,
yeah,
that's
and right now they're debating what to do with it because it will cost a lot to get into shape.
sure.
And like the locals really want to use it as some sort of like a cultural space.
Yeah.
But it's not, and it might be a museum. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
It reminds me a little bit of the spaces, the cultural artist spaces in the northern part of Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
Amsterdam Nord, yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah.
It's I love Amsterdam Nord. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. Have
Have
you
you
seen
been
that,
there?
Ella?
No.
So what's
Yeah.
really cool is they've got all these old
Boat buildings,
that
yeah.
were transportation, the shipbuilding era there, and they've taken these old buildings and turned them into these really cool artist lofts
Yeah.
and
So-
maker places and creators, and so yeah.
And also a
Yeah.
lot of seems like there's a lot of temporary stuff there as well.
Yes,
so
a lot of
there's
temporary.
like you can stay
Yep.
here for 3 years and then you have to move on, and then there's development. And
That's
there-
actually part of the process.
deal,
is the
yeah.
lease is that you come in and you do some stuff. Well, why don't we do this? Let's wrap up with talking a little bit about WE and how your customers really find you and relate to you, and how does that all work?
Well, when we started the service in 2020, we decided to launch our sign up on the World Car Free Day, 22nd of September.
Right.
And then at that point, we had like a pilot of 35 bikes that we wanted to get out with customers just to like see if it would fly.
Right. Yeah.
And then when we launched, in 48 hours, we had 200 people signed up for the 30 bikes.
Wait. You had how many?
200.
How many did you expect?
We had no idea really. So, but we had to. I think we spent in total 46 NOK. I mean that's $4 on marketing.
Yeah.
For the first batch of bikes.
Yeah.
And we've been in a position where we have been sold out more or less constantly after that.
Talk about oversubscribed.
Well, yeah, because the thing, I mean, the financial products that exist for leasing,
Right.
they exist either if you're a solid company
Yeah.
that make more money than you invest,
Yeah.
or if you deal with cars.
Yeah.
Because a car is something that's in the register, and they have a estimated second-hand value, and there's like this whole system that will make it easier for the bank, very easy for a bank to say, oh yeah, you want a fleet of 200 cars, here's your leasing agreement.
Yeah.
But for bikes, even if these bikes cost the same as a second-hand car, there is nothing.
Yeah.
So ever since we started out, we've been really, really working to get asset financing, because currently we have around 400 customers.
Right.
And they're on long-term contracts. Our average contract time is 12 months.
Right.
Some of our customers have been with us from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we have to use our money to buy bikes, and we're not a very affluent company.
Right.
Because we're also building a company, and we're building the software, and we're building everything.
Yeah.
So at the moment we have like over 200 on the waiting list for bikes, because we're not able to get the bikes to sort of reach our market potential.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge for us as a company, and I know that that's the fact with the other companies. There's an American company called Freeway who's doing like a lease with it through a bike dealership in San Francisco, I think.
Okay.
And there's an Australian company that's doing. They're also. I mean, everyone's struggling with financing the assets.
Right. Financing the assets. So when you look at your customer base, is there a point in time where they move on and say we're convinced we're going to buy our own bike? Is that primarily where you see your customer kind of say, we've loved this service, we're convinced we're going to buy our own, or do they just keep going with you at that point? Or is it too early to tell?
No. I mean, we have 3 years of operations now, so we have quite a lot of data on what will motivate people.
Sure.
And I mean, we came into this, we built the service based on transportation research. There's a big international study on car sharing called Tempest, which was the EU project that showed that the main motivator for urban inhabitants to get a car and sort of go into the car-centric lifestyle is when they have kids.
Right.
So that sort of shaped our, or made us more reassured that our target group was the right one.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing is that the point of time where people move away from the service is, well, to begin with, the service is something that's attractive if you don't want to, if you want to save money and not spend on buying a bike, because it's like way less.
Right.
But what happens after that is that when they get into the service and they use the service and they see that instead of having to wait for an appointment at the workshop to get winter tires, maybe you have to wait for a month or so, you get like you're scheduled.
Right.
And you just drop the bike off and you say, oh, there's a sound, there's a noise here.
Right.
And we clean the bike and we just make sure everything is okay, and we change the winter tires. So
it's
kind
sounding
of,
like what you're saying is that service side of your product is huge for your customers, because if there's a problem with the bike, if something's not working quite right,
it's our problem.
It's your problem. Yeah.
And we will deal with it within 5 days.
Yeah.
So I mean, I owned a cargo bike, and I spent at least $1,000 per year, because I'm not practical. I don't have an indoor space to fix it.
Right.
And these bikes are getting increasingly complex. There's electricity involved. There's like challenges in aligning the rear tire and something. I'm not super technical, and I don't really have time. Yeah. So I would pay to have someone do that. I want to have a bike that's as convenient for me to sort of own and have as a car. Yeah. I want to like unlock and ride. Yeah. And that's what we're offering. So people may be coming into the service because it's a low entry point financially, but they will stay in the service because we offer something over time that saves them time and also saves them money in comparison to a car at a cost that's not much more than you would pay if you own the bike yourself.
Yeah. All right, to close this out, how much would it cost to rent this bike, to be on a subscription from you?
This bike is, I think it's, we have a 3-month subscription
Okay.
and a 12-month subscription.
Let's say 12 months.
12 months, then...
We're convinced. We want this bike. 12 months.
I think it's around $200 per month.
Okay.
And then you, depending on the accessories you want.
And that amount is in the local currency.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
2,000
Yeah,
Norwegian.
in the local
I
currency.
think, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very affordable.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
the thing about cargo bikes is that I mean, when you don't know what a cargo bike is, you
Yeah.
think of it as a kind of strange and very expensive bike.
Yeah.
But when you start using it and also using it with like the accessories and the child seats and everything, it's the least expensive like station wagon you've ever had.
It's like a car replacement.
Yes, it is.
Ella, questions for her?
I was thinking about
Yeah.
how like my company is going to have some like, partnership. Was that something they approached you about? And do you have other companies you're working with? Or, I mean, because I'm assuming they have more money to be like, we're going to sponsor this many. And so like you could buy more of the bikes knowing that there's some backing, I guess, or yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are companies who are coming to us, and as we actually have the ability to finance bikes for companies, like as many as we want.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing is that the sales processes are a lot longer, and people seem to think that they really want shared bikes. But what we know about shared bikes is that for a shared fleet to function, then you really need to invest a lot in operations and in like maintenance of the bikes, and you will always have like you need to have a surplus of bikes that can be replacement bikes. And there's a lot of two of the people in my team, Luis from Mexico, he came from Guadalajara, running the second largest bike sharing fleet in the Latin America.
Wow.
And he says that the operational cost of running fleet is under communicated, like for shared fleet. But when you have a personal bike, we never go to the bikes. They charge the bikes themselves. They lock them properly. They care for them, and they will also any customer will let us know if there's a weird sound on their bike.
Yeah, they have more responsibility for the bike, the individual bike. Yeah.
So our sort of operation cost and operation, our uptime per bike is probably 98%, because you come to us three to four times per year to have the bike looked after, and that's it. And then maybe if you have a flat or something, we'll fix that too. But the uptime is like constant compared to bike sharing, where the uptime there will at any given point be up to 30% of the fleet in maintenance or in redistribution or something like that. So that's kind of a cost that the subsidies from the municipality or the commercial sponsor will need to put.
Yeah. Bicycle power women of Oslo.
Yes.
Hey, thank you so much. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure. I love your city. I love your program. And Ella, digging your new city, your new digs. This is awesome.
This is great.
Again, thank you so very much for joining me on the Active Towns channel. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Kari Anne and Ella. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and share it with a friend. And if you haven't done so already, I'd be honored to have you subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscription button down below and be sure to ring the notifications bell. And if you're enjoying this content here on the Active Towns channel, please consider supporting my efforts by becoming an Active Towns ambassador. Hey, it's super easy to do. Just click on the join button right here on YouTube, or navigate over to activetowns.org. Click on the support tab at the top of the page, and there are several different options, including making a contribution to the nonprofit or becoming a Patreon supporter. Patrons do get early and ad-free access to all the video content. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, this is John signing off by wishing you much activity, health, and happiness. Cheers. And as you can see, we headed on over to the swimming area because Ella and Kari Anne really wanted to go for a swim, and then I continued on up to my Airbnb. And while this is running, I just want to send a special thank you to all my Active Towns ambassadors supporting the channel financially. I simply could not produce this content without you. Thank you all so much.